Hello and welcome to the Buzzerbeater Show, episode 7. My name is David Jones, and today we're going to talk about the Jordan documentary, episode 6, 7, and 8. So episode 6 starts with. Um, so episode 5 was more about the positive things, what Michael Jordan did to the culture and stuff. But now, um, there's some negativity in this whole series because now um so there was like giving an example for what they meant of this negativity because during the 1993 Eastern Conference Finals, the Bulls played the Knicks, which we lost. Yeah. And Jordan went with his dad to a casino in Salt Lake City, and everybody made a big drama about it, like the big role model going to a casino and not being responsible, not being like a role model, and he even like did a show and like a small, I would say, commercial at the beginning of the video of episode 6 where it says he's not a role model. He doesn't want to be a role model. If you don't like him as a person, um, you should probably watch somebody else. And so the media, even um, David Aldridge, the guy, said it wasn't the media's finest hour just because the media just they ripped Jordan apart for like him being so not caring for some reason, but like I mean it's his thing. He can do whatever he wants. And yeah, then the whole gambling problem started, and the Jordan Rules bestseller number 5 came out on the market. And it was just basically um, it was very negative because people, I think some people were just tired of Jordan, of like everybody seeing Jordan as like a superstar, and with all the commercials and Be Like Mike commercials, that they just basically said, yeah, we want something else. We want more drama. We want more attention. And so there also came a book out which is called Jordan and Me. And in this particular book, the guy who wrote it, I forgot his name. He wrote that Jordan owed him $1.2 million. So after a round of golf, and Jordan said, "Just I don't have a gambling problem. I have a competitive problem." Yes, and the uh, yeah, it's just so he wanted to be like, he just wanted to do what he wanted to do, and the media started to like tell him what to do, and he did not like that. And so then they go back to 1993 where the Knicks were playing the Bulls, and they were up by 2, and John Stark just, I mean, if I talk about the dunk, people from New York probably know what I'm talking about. John Starks dunking over Horace Grant and Michael Jordan. Like at that point, everybody thought like, oh yeah, Knicks are gonna win. That's no problem. But then something turned up. Jordan just exploded, and they there was like an at the end of Game 6 in Madison Square Garden. I don't know. Is it Chris Smith? Josh Smith? Number 50. I don't remember his name. So he was under the basket. Pippen was just, he tried to go up for a layup to win the game. Pippen just smacked him on the arm, and that was a foul. You can't tell me that was not a foul. But I mean, everybody, like, except for New York, everybody wanted the Bulls to win, and that was just a foul. Yeah. And so they also talked about Jordan golfing with a drug boss and a guy that was like really criminal, and Jordan said, "I didn't know about anything of that." And yeah, so this is probably this all rounded up to what is gonna happen in episode 7. So in episode 7, it starts off with a media a press conference with Jerry Krause, and he says there's no backstabbing going on here, and talking about Phil Jackson, and that everybody's thinking like the Bulls front office is backstabbing Phil Jackson because the team is falling apart, and because of all of these accusations, and Jordan having a gambling problem and stuff. And he says there's no gambling problem going on here. And episode 6 actually ended with the 1998 playoffs, and then the first round the Bulls are playing the Nets. And so I listened to a podcast about who created this documentary, and he said the timelines are gonna merge at some point. They're gonna come together in probably episode 10, which episode 9 and 10 I'm gonna talk about next week. So, and then after that, there's probably gonna come like my top 10 list. Okay, so like in the first, like 1998, the first part of the game, the Bulls are just getting manhandled by the Nets. All of them just dropping. Although the Nets team was okay, but not great. They had who they had? They had they already had Jason Kidd. Oh, probably not. I think they had Stephon Marbury. I think that's Stephon Marbury. And so they tried to. The Nets were just doing their best, and everybody was thinking, like, oh yeah, although the Bulls won and actually swept the Nets, everybody was just thinking, oh, this could be actually the end if they already play as bad to the Nets. And yeah, this was very, you could see like the media was they were trying to put some drama in this, because it's always like the Bulls are great and stuff. And then we go back timeline again to 1993, and it's like looking like Jordan is just not himself anymore. He wants to stop. His dad actually gets killed in the process of that, which, rest in peace, is not a great thing. He was lost, so they missed him for like a couple of days or weeks even. And it was very unusual that he didn't that nobody heard of him anymore for like 3 weeks, and they said it was very unusual and was new, and nobody it was just not his thing, and then it turned out he got killed. So his father was like very important to him because he attended every game, and he was very close. Like, he was his best friend. He was Jordan's best friend. He taught him everything. He taught to play basketball, and Jordan was so tired and upset from all the media drama. He said he wanted to take a break of basketball, and in a 1993 press conference, he said that he would retire from basketball, and he's gonna retire from basketball and try to play baseball. And then the media does even something more stupid. They said Jordan just wanted to, um, he wanted to, he just wanted to get out of there because all of the pressure and tension, and David Stern, they did like a private investigation, the NBA, on Michael, and David Stern said there was nothing going on. No, nothing turned out. No, nothing, like, absolutely no evidence. And the problem was the media didn't believe that, and they wanted to push Jordan away. And then when they said he wanted to play baseball, it was like a secret suspension from David Stern, and all of the guys in the documentary were like, "Oh no, this is bullshit." And I mean, it's kind of, yeah. It's probably true, because I don't want to hate on somebody that just lost his dad and is just trying to get away from the sport that he left. And he also wanted to go play baseball because always his dad always wanted him to play baseball. Um, so they also said it was media's finest hour, and yeah, I would have been angry. I would have been I would have been not okay with that. I would have been pissed off and probably never play. Okay, not never play, but um, try to just get out of the spotlight for like forever. And there was no proof. There was no connection. There was nothing. But for some reason, I just thought like, okay, I think a lot of people are gonna hate me for like trying to make this a conspiracy theory. But for some reason, I just had the feeling that, like, David Stern, like, talking about it, and I just had the feeling like there was something. I would not say that he got suspended. I think there's a little more to that. Little more. I'm not saying that he got like suspended for gambling, because that is probably not true, but I think there's a little more to that. I don't know what. I know this probably sounds stupid, but I know there's absolutely no proof. But maybe they didn't want him to have any proof. Yeah, whatever. Um so he wanted to retire, and he had a meeting with Phil Jackson, and he said, "Yeah, if you want to do that, I understand that." And then he went to the White Sox game, and hell broke out when it turned out to be that he wanted to go to the White Sox. But he wasn't in the major leagues. He was in the minor leagues, not 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 the major leagues yet. But then he he had like a stretch in the first couple games of the baseball season where he like really like he hit some bats, and he said like it was just luck, and then at some point he just striked out 3 times in a row. But it improved, so he had to transform his body to a baseball player, so more into the legs, not really the upper body, because in basketball it's more about the upper body, and like it's a little different, like how you can improve your body to the sport. And they said that if Jordan would have continued, he probably would have made it to the major leagues. And yeah, so I gotta hate on Pippen again. Because, yes, now, Pippen, what? I know Jordan was gone, but in the 1994 NBA Eastern Conference Finals, he just said, "Oh, I'm not gonna take the last shot. Tony Kukoc is gonna take the last shot. That's bullshit. I'm just gonna sit down." He left the team behind, and Scott, why? Why, Pippen? You're dumb. Pippen, why? Why would you do that? Why would you leave your team behind? Why would you leave your team alone? You're so lucky that shot would have went in. There would have been so much more hate if the shot would have gone in. They would have gone all onto you. And what is that on ESPN when you said, like, when you dunked on Patrick Ewing and you said he should sit his ass down and go back to New York? You lost to the Knicks in the 1994 Eastern Conference Finals. You were without Jordan. You would have not won all of these championships without Jordan. Jordan is the main reason why they won. I mean, this is just some. This. No. No. This is crazy talk. This is just. You can't tell me that you sat out because you were jealous. Again, jealous on Tony Kukoc. I am so happy that the Knicks won. I'm not gonna lie. And so in 1995, when Jordan came actually back, he went to the training facilities and he just wanted to see his team again. But then at some point he like went to the always all the time, and he also took like a couple shots. And then it came official. He went back to the Bulls in 1995. And I think his break was done. He was finally calm again. And then the season at that point was very disappointing. And without Jordan. And now we go back, like, the timeline. I mean, they won against the Nets in the first round. And there's like, they're also talking about Jordan's competitiveness, and they said, Steve Kerr actually said, and John Paxson, that he could have been nice. He just could have been. He could have not been nice. He was over competitive. I know he wanted to make his team better, but god damn, trash talk on your own teammates? I know you're saying the whole time, like, if you don't agree with me, just don't play for my team. I get that, but you don't have to be such a hard ass. Yeah, okay. And I know you had high expectations. Also to Scott Burrell, who was not like really, who was actually afraid of you. And I know Scott Burrell didn't take like the most effort, but yeah, whatever. Now we come to episode 8, and so you're playing the Charlotte Hornets, and the series tied 1-1. And they're saying they're letting the Bulls know that there's probably gonna be probably gonna win this, but Jordan, like, the PJ Armstrong lets them know that Jordan, he trash talks Jordan after he crosses him, takes a shot, hits it, he trash talks him, and Jordan was pissed, and he wanted revenge on PJ Armstrong. And then he scored 36 points in the first half in game 3. He's just talking like he's completely upset. He's a madman. I'm telling you, he's a madman. He wants to beat the crap out of the Hornets. And he was not okay with BJ Armstrong. He's like, you should have known better and stuff. You don't trash talk the GOAT. And I agree, bro. You can't just trash talk Jordan, bro. This guy is dangerous. And so the Bulls win game 3, and the Bulls win the series 4-1. And then, yeah, they're like saying like he would have made the major leagues and stuff, and he goes back to Chicago. And now it's getting interesting. Horace Grant goes to Orlando, and this is gonna get relevant later. So, they play the Pacers, and he's a little rusty still, Jordan. But then they beat the Pacers in the second round, and they advance to the Eastern Conference semifinals. Yep. So Horace Grant, Shaq, and Penny Hardaway on one team. And in game 1, Jordan, in the last minute, he dribbles the ball up, and the ball gets stolen. I saw this once time, and I was like, whoa, what? From Nick Anderson. He got the ball stolen from Nick Anderson. And then Horace Grant just goes down for the dunk. And the Bulls lose the series. And Jordan is so upset. And the problem was he didn't have anyone to like talk to except for his teammates. And then in 1995, there was Space Jam, and the Warner Brothers actually made like a big, actually a practice facility for Jordan, and like him working out, and he like invited players to see how good they were and stuff, and to see like how he can beat them in the playoffs. And then in 1995, they actually signed Dennis Rodman so they can so they can replace Horace Grant. I'm gonna mention now an unpopular opinion on Space Jam. I don't like Space Jam. I think I'm gonna do like a separate video to this because this is just getting a little too long, the podcast, and I think I'm gonna talk about why Space Jam is not such a great movie. So anyway, Steve Kerr and Michael Jordan actually get into a fist fight, and he was the first guy to stand up to Jordan, and Jordan called him later and said, "Steve Kerr, I'm sorry." And then the Bulls win the 72 games, and they get 10 losses. At the time, that was the biggest record of all time. The Golden State Warriors would break it with one win more, but later in 2015. But so the Bulls go to the finals in 1996, and Jordan got fired up because George Karl, the coach at the time of the Sonics, he wanted to shake his hands, but he ignored them, and then he just destroyed them in the finals, and the Bulls won. And he was like Gary Payton, like he said, like, I was not worried about Gary Payton, and Gary Payton said like, oh yeah, he was just he was having troubles with me and stuff. Yeah, Jordan was a madman. Okay, so I have talked for 24 minutes on my own again. So, if you like this, leave a like. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe and turn on notifications, of course. And The next video is gonna be about episode 9 and 10. Stay tuned for that. Until next time, peace.